it goes from there. And we'll sort of pick it up as you sort of step out. Um, but speaking of coffee, I have some tea that was brewing, and I'm gonna grab mine.
Oh
So
yeah,
the
be right
throat
back.
doesn't go completely fucking gone. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
All right.
So, Busty's character and mine actually know each other.
Okay.
We're saying the little test we did the other day is gonna be canon.
I see. Is that how you were deemed unfit for society or something?
Among other things, possibly, but we've been kind of
We'll
laying low.
definitely add to it with that one.
Yeah.
All right. You two are the power couple then. Neat. Hmm. Okay.
We kind of quote unquote lost our techie once we got on planet, but we're sure that he's somewhere. We just won't be able to find him because he's probably got doctored as shit papers, and it's probably under a different name.
Sounds like you need a new tech guy.
Yeah, we probably do. And, now that we've been notified that we're be part of the Culling, which fucking Jesse's always been a little bit afraid of happening. That's why she wanted to get off her fucking homeworld. This place is terrible.
Well, I'm not so good with the non-physical stuff, programming and all that, but I could repair basically anything you might need me to and probably tamper with a few things on the side. So, with that in mind, if you need a new mechanic, let me know.
Yeah, if only we could get our fucking ship back.
If you need a ship, I can fly it. More or less.
Well, we had a ship that got impounded a little bit after our little, after our thing. I really wish someone had recorded or streamed that. It was really fun. But yeah, this is like out of character. This is pretty open. We actually took so long of a setup, like quote unquote setup phase of our job that we took, that Busty started falling asleep. It probably also didn't help that we were like playing at
4 in the morning.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 4 for them, 1 for us.
Yep. That was fun. I was
All right,
awake,
back.
but nobody else was. All right. Well,
Welcome back.
start this a little bit of fun. To set the theme, get a little bit of something here. Anyway, so yeah, you guys exit the police. Well, it's a security station. There's no official police force here. But head on out. You can see the bustling city, the shield wall in the far distance, sort of built to protect it from the rather frequent sandstorms. It's starting to get cold out. The sun is starting to go down. You guys have been told and marked. You would know that the process of marking, there's like the visible tattoo part, and it is put in a visible place, like neck, shoulder, arm, somewhere, hand, something like that. There are also You're also injected with essentially nanites that if you go through certain security stations, like the ones to the starport, they go off, and then you're usually collected. So, this is your situation. What would you like to do?
Son of a bitch. I need a drink.
I blow up security station.
I mean, you can try.
No more nanite problem.
It's one of many. I will point out. You're in the 11th precinct. There's 38 in this city. You're in one of the less populated areas, technically. So.
No, Lexi, we tried that on Thursday, whatever that job we had to do. Remember? I'd really rather not have to lay low for another year.
You
your ship was
pussy.
impounded over on Thirsk. So. I believe that's where you guys were.
Yeah.
All right. So do we have a place to stay? Is it like
Yeah,
already
you guys would have places that you stayed the night before or whatever. But I will point out, you guys, it is, this is the first night of 14 days to get your ass off the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow. I don't know if you'd ever, I mean, depending on what circles you guys move in, you might have met each other before. It's up to you guys.
I think you might know that might have seen me, like, we're walking out of the place where we get the tattoo, right? So
Yeah, you guys were all kind of packed into one, for lack of a better term, a classroom, I guess. And this was explained to you, and then you were taken individually into a small room with essentially what was like a dentist chair, and had the mark applied to you. So
yeah, so you would know probably, and you would recognize him. Jack is basically like a street mechanic. He's got a truck that he operates out of over around this district, and he basically sleeps there. He parks it on the street. That's where he lives. But
okay.
You are aware that he is a rather knowledgeable mechanic, and he got a knack for flying. So it might be good for him to help you guys get off this planet. You know that he's generally a very straightforward individual.
Okay, so well-known sort of mechanic, maybe by the locals.
Yeah, by the locals.
Not running any like big business or anything like that. It wouldn't.
No,
Yeah.
he's the guy who is like, hey, my bike got torn up in a gun shop. Give me an hour.
Fair enough. Okay. Got an idea of like who he works with. Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, probably not looked upon well by the authorities, especially not other more quote unquote legitimate chop shops in the area. So perhaps why he was marked, who knows?
Okay. And then if you guys want to give a quick rundown of Lexi and Jesse, that'd be useful.
All right. Lexi is a hulking Amazon of a woman. She has a metal plate on the side of her head, along with some scarring and stuff from a previous engagement. She's very military organized, affiliated. She's since retired from the service and works freelance now and has a giant fucking gun.
Yeah, and mind you, it is common for people to carry like sidearms here, but maybe not like the giant fucking gun. And when you guys go into the security station, they would have taken any weapons off of you for the duration of that. So, so I mean, like wherever you are currently like sleeping, might be where your weapon is currently.
Okay, then yeah, if nobody takes Veronica.
Fair enough. All right, Jesse.
So Jesse's just a also ex-military. She's about 5'7", 5'8". Got a short haircut, buzzed on one side, and then it's kind of tossed over on the other. She's got a pair of dog tags just kind of hanging from her neck, not really in full view, but they're there. And she's got a trusty, maybe 30 to 40-year-old service pistol on her hip. Got a nice brown jacket, kind of dull colors, nothing that really stands out. She could blend in. You imagine if she wanted to.
All right, so we got the mechanic and 2 ex-military people. This will be interesting.
Alright.
But yeah, no, this is mostly driven by you guys. So
Wait, what was that? Do I hear the da 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 da?
not
Wait,
quite.
so is it like obvious through your appearance that you're a mechanic? That you're like a
So yeah, you can definitely see he's got a multi-tool mounted on his wrist. He's got a backpack full of spare parts. He's got the low light goggles on his head to work in the dark and see and look into sort of tighter spaces. Glow bugs in a sort of bandolier on his backpack strap. He is very, very clearly dressed for action, or at the very least, dressed to get a job done. Granted, that's all on top of sort of makeshift, but relatively elegantly put together street clothes.
All right.
So if we're all walking out of the tattoo place, actually, I think Lexi would actually approach him and say, "Hey, you!
Huh?
You fix it, man? Yes?
I mean, that's what some people call me. Some people with a relatively lacking IQ, but yes, some people call me that.
So you're not nerd, right? You don't use the smart box stuff."
Not entirely sure what you're talking about.
Whatever. Can you recharge my power cell?
I mean, I can give it an attempt. I got a few spare of my own if you're willing to pay, but sure. I can get stuff done, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, yes. Come to my place. I need to get it.
Alright. And where might your place be?
Fuck if I know. Jesse, come on.
So yeah, 2 of you are.
This entire time,
living-
Jesse's was just kind of like maybe a couple feet away, just like, oh god.
Dealing with Lexi, fair enough.
You two, your own little PMC or something?
Yeah,
Well.
I mean, I feel like you guys might be living out of essentially like a hostel area.
Yeah.
You know, like just sort of a traveler or long-term a motel or something could work. I mean, like where would you be living? Like you can kind of pick a spot. Like it's fine.
I
It's all
imagine we
freeform.
probably would have saved some of the funds for like
Okay.
like getting a fucking place to live for a little bit, something cheap. So probably like a motel or like a really rundown like studio apartment.
All right, yeah. So the 2 of you have we'll say it's a studio apartment, somewhere in kind of the slums, something cheap. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you guys want to head back there then?
Yeah, I'll give hey, name's Jesse. This
Name's
is
Jack.
Lexi.
So you guys start heading back towards your apartment then?
Yeah.
All right. On the way, I mean, there's tons of like street vendors and general panhandlers, that sort of thing, down here. But like, when I say panhandlers, like they actually look decently well dressed. They're usually hawking something though, selling something on the street. Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah. So you guys can get to the apartment. It's sort of like has anybody seen Burn Notice?
Yes.
It kind of I'm kind of feeling like it's it's like above a nightclub sort a seedy nightclub sort of thing.
Oh, that
like
one?
Burn Notice,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's where
Wait,
you
wait,
guys
that could be it. That could be it. Lexi works a side job as the bouncer.
Yes.
Oh,
Off the
perfect.
books.
There's the rent right there.
Alright.
I'm gonna take a quick look around, see if anybody's following me, anything's like in the area. Just because I'm super paranoid after that bullshit.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So as you walk down, or down that way, like there's a lot of people look at you differently. From like normally they look at like Lexi in a mix of like terror and awe, I would assume, and like a lot of them know you, Jack, but
Mhm.
like now they kind of look at you with like a different kind of terror and more like pity. Just I mean, it's not like something you can hide very easily. And as you sort of look up, you can see, sort of the end. It's almost like the end credits of the Culling. It's cycling through a whole bunch of people that have died, sort of a la Hunger Games. But
Mhm.
there's 1,000 of them.
All right. Okay. Yeah, as we approach, I just kind of, after looking around at all of them, look up at your place, which apparently is like the back of a nightclub, and say, "Ah, nice place. I just met you. I don't know if, I mean, what exactly is going on here?"
I just kind of give him this look, like with an arched eyebrow, like really, and then I'll just like get the door to unlock, kick it open, and go like rummage around for a fucking bottle of like hard liquor, and just sit down for a couple
Yeah,
minutes.
fair enough. But yeah, on the way, like nothing, like nobody's tailing you at the moment, as far as you can tell. Um, yeah, it's just more people where normally you could kind of walk without being noticed. Like people notice you, uh, because of the mark and everything. Um, but yeah, you guys are in the apartment. There's yeah, you got a bottle of probably cheap bourbon or something like that. Sure.
All right, Lexi's gonna go into like the bathroom or whatever and open the door, lean in, pull out the plasma projector, set it on the ground, press a button, and like the power cell that's on it just like pops up, and she grabs it and hands it to the guy. Here, it's dead.
Which type is it?
That should
Power
be an
cell type
alpha.
A.
Yeah.
Okay. I just kind of pull one of mine from my backpack, and say, "Here, on the house for the lodging and all."
Hey, I like you. And yeah, she'll arm her weapon again and put it back into the desk.
Oh shit!
Okay.
You never
Yeah.
had spare ammo, Busty.
Oh, I got spare ammo. She was just asking.
So yeah, you see this very large Russian woman pull out a large, an even ridiculously large gun.
A to scale gun.
Yeah, to scale for sure. Like it's Zarya's gun, basically. Is
Mhm.
what we're talking about. Hands it to you. You give her a power cell, and she just shoves it back in the bathroom. All right, fair enough.
So this whole setup with
Let's make
the
things clear. Lexi doesn't really give a shit about other things, and you're definitely not anything I want to get into. So you're safe there.
good to know. Anyways, so either you got a ship.
What?
Either of you got a ship.
Oh, it's what, impounded? Yes, that's the word.
Yeah, it's impounded on another planet.
All right. I think I'll just clarify that. All right. Where is it? Sure, we can pull some strings.
I must have fell asleep during that part.
It's on Thirsk.
I
It's
got
on
you.
Thirsk.
No, it's on Torbajo.
Torbajo?
Thorbajo. I misspoke, I think. Here, I'll just put it in chat.
It's on
These were-
different planets. We get off this one first, then get to ship.
All right. Not so promising then?
I'm sure there's some underground place we can hitch a ride out, but that's gonna cost credits, and credits is hard to come by. Let's say right now.
Yeah, I'm sure we can fix that. I don't think my shop's going to do us much good. Let's just say I don't make enough for an apartment, or say. But, tell you what I can do. Probably get us some kind of job, or maybe we could just, see if we can hop a ride on somebody else's payroll. But, in order to do that, we're going to need to make some contacts, which I've never been good at.
I mean, I feel like if you're a mechanic for some of the less reputable people,
Mm-hmm.
like you would know who some of the people are, but I don't know that you would necessarily have amazing relationships all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But they might use you out of convenience if you're like on the street. If that makes
Yeah.
sense, I guess. I don't know.
Well, we're definitely gonna have to avoid any of the more legal people. I just gotta gesture at the marks.
Yeah. So where did you kind of had a choice as to where they put the mark? I mean, it has to be in a visible place. But yeah, so where did you choose to get the mark? I mean, like for lack of a better term, think of it kind of like the mark of the beast from the Bible. Like it is not a good thing, and it's usually pretty prominently displayed.
It's just along like the not the front of the not the outside of the forearm, left forearm.
Okay.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
the same, actually.
Okay.
I would say the neck, but yeah, I finished. Oh, I didn't finish. I did more drawing, and like, yeah, she's got like scarring all along the back of her neck, so that's not happening. I guess the same spot, the inner
Okay.
forearm.
So it's all on your left forearm.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So it's a pretty big mark, and on it, it's sort of like a hex pattern, right? So for the background, it's sort of like a cutout hex pattern, and then on it there are numbers, um, between 1 and 1,000. Each one of you has a different one. Let me see here.
Why they give me big number? I should be number 1.
Yeah, you guys can roll a D1000 for your number if you want. As long as it's
Sure.
not the same as anybody else. So you're 418.
418. 418, yeah.
Yep. And they're kind of done in almost like a graffiti style. All right, number 90. Oh shit. The higher up your number is, like the sooner you were picked.
Oh shit!
Well, yeah, that makes
Out of
sense.
1,000 people, you were number 9. Lexi was number 794. All right, fair enough.
Hold on, let me write that down as a fucking as a
yeah.
note.
All right, so yeah, so each of your characters has this tattoo on their left forearm. It extends out kind of across the wrist into the bottom of the hand, sort of across the back of the hand rather, almost to the knuckles, like the hex pattern, but the numbers are across your forearms.
All right. Let's see. I think, yeah. So I know the names at the very least. Maybe not where to find them or who they are, or like
Yeah,
how I would get a hold of them. But yeah, my first thing would be I might know a few people who can help with the situation. I suspect there might be one or two gangs that might have been entirely marked if they could get their hands on it. Anyways.
yeah.
And if we could take advantage of that with a common interest, we might be able to get some allies in this.
Okay.
Can't really trust gangs. I'll see. I'll look. I know there's I'll take a look at some of my contacts. I'll just start flipping through my compad notes of like
Okay.
PMCs
So
or private
if-
security companies that are less
If you guys
scrupulous.
if you guys wanna make a connect with intelligence to remember what what you can remember of your networking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ugh.
Yeah.
Eh,
Okay. So in this game, a 7 is a base success, just so you guys know.
all right.
For other stuff, might be more difficult and DC's higher. Basically, a 7 is a base success most of the time. And then like the higher above 7 you get, the more you get. So first off, Jesse, you remember the corporations you worked with, like back over on the other planet. Like they have some branch offices here, but like they're not going to work with you. You kind of just know that it's not likely that they're going to work with you. They have to abide by, the other laws plus, you know, other issues. Meanwhile, Jack, you do remember you fixed up some guy's car. He was wearing sort of like a bandana over most of his face. But you do remember he did say he didn't pay in cash. He basically said if you ever need a favor, like that was his thing. And for some reason, you may have taken it or demanded cash. I don't know. It's up to you. But you do remember the name, and the name he gave you anyway was Null Citizen. He didn't give you any real name, but like it was enough. There was an account attached to it, right? So he transferred money into your account and like, whatever. It's money.
Yeah,
I'm
I would
assuming.
probably say let's get that in writing. And so as I'm trying to think back, I would pull out a piece of paper with the word Null Citizen on it.
Yeah, and like it might have some other notes on there. The work order for his car, which is sort of an upper kind of upscale car, not quite like top tier, but like kind of like where a Camaro is. It's not like a Bugatti, but
Mhm.
like it's it was a decent sports car or whatever. Seemed to be tweaked a lot with a lot of weird cybernetic bits.
Did it happen to have a
Um,
hole in the roof in the shape of a great sword?
no, no, it did not.
Oh, good.
That'd be great. No, that car's somewhere, but not on this planet.
Probably also
Um,
impounded.
yeah, considering. Well, the owners can't come and get it, so
Oops.
yeah. So just so you know, so that we're not doing a Thunder, they managed to kill a man and his boyfriend. Left his child, a 6-year-old girl, alone in the house with the 2 dead bodies, and then ran off. In a Mustang, essentially, and got hunted down by police drones.
Yeah, we stole the boyfriend's car.
Yep.
Hmm.
It was great. It was
I
stupid.
cleave men in 2 pieces.
You didn't
did,
cut all
in
the way
fact,
through,
do
but it was pretty close. It was a tough cut.
It was 2 pieces.
It was essentially like the version of Nearly Headless Nick if the cut had been from like where the shoulder and the neck meet to like the lower part of the rib cage.
Gotcha. I mentioned just as I'm looking through this, just so we're clear, I'm gonna stand behind you two for basically all of this.
Not
All right.
And then I'm gonna pull baby out from underneath the coffee table that I've been like drinking at.
Okay, and what's baby for everybody here involved?
Baby is Jesse's sniper rifle.
All right, behind her, in front of you. That all right?
Yep.
I walk in the middle. That's
Yeah.
basically what
In the
you're
middle of the
saying.
shadow of the valley of death.
Yes, something like that.
All right, Veronica. Shit, I gotta keep remembering these names. Lexi walks into the bathroom, kisses her hand, places it on the gun, says, "I'll be back." Grabs her greatsword, puts it on her back, and cracks her knuckle. And is like, "Let's go."
Very practical weapons that I can see. All right.
Hey man, I didn't make these characters.
Let's go back to my truck.
I
We'll
should.
take it and see if we can find this Null Citizen.
I'm gonna say if there's probably not anything in the fucking in the apartment that we can just sell.
I mean, you might have some like. I mean, I would assume like how have you guys been sleeping? Like, what have you been sleeping on? I mean, considering like, have you guys been sleeping on the floor, newspapers? You have like a couple mattresses,
probably
a
have-
bed, what?
We probably have like maybe a mattress. I mean, I know I'm definitely gonna be sleeping on the sofa.
A laid back car seat. Basically. That's about it.
Yeah. That's what you've been sleeping. So like, What's your truck like? So let's get to that. We'll say for the purposes of this, maybe you guys all piled into the truck to get where you know to the apartment. You know, that makes sense.
Oh wait, if we're using the truck, then she's gonna bring the gun.
All right.
All right. Yeah. So what's your truck like? Describe your truck.
So it's when I say truck, it's basically a van. With the back side of it is entirely converted into a workshop. There are hooks and stands for different objects to be placed. There are a bunch of tools strewn about the place, although most of them just kind of work with the instance panel. I can't really. Sorry, with the meta tool, it's mostly just spare parts that I have lying around, and it is painted with a it's like a pure black outside with a yellow J on the one side of it, with a few like sort of electrical decals on the side, on the very like bottom of it. It's a very simplistic van, but it's iconic enough that people can know what it is when they see it.
Fair enough. I got an image in my head, kind of like this, but just packed full of shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Basically.
Fair enough. All right.
Probably not so many shelves. Like a bit less shelves with much more
just
metal and stuff lying around.
Everywhere. Yeah.
And then like 2 hooks from the top and a stand on the bottom for anything that needs.
Okay. Is it a grav van? Like, does it does it have wheels?
I think it's a grav van because I like to think that we are operating under Overwatch logic and all cars must fly.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's a TL4 planet, so there are gravity vehicles for sure. And I mean they're not that expensive, at least for, your base model.
I don't think I'd buy this car.
This is probably like something you scratch from the
This is on lease. On loan from somewhere.
Either on loan or it's basically a makeshift car, a jury-rigged car.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Hey, that's how you know people know what they're doing. Take an old beat-up piece of shit and make it work real good.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So yeah, you guys all load in. I assume there's like 2 seats in the front. I don't know if you've done anything with the passenger seat.
I'll just like take a spare Instapanel and put it as a cushion on the stand so that Lexi can sit in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, Jesse's just gonna grab
window to the front from the back?
I like to think it's basically an open back.
Oh, okay.
So you could just leap from the back to the yes.
Okay, that would make so it's more like in a regular like van body, but it's like a FedEx.
Yes.
Okay.
Kinda.
Okay, so you've got like a path. All right, cool.
Yeah, Jesse's just gonna grab
give you the chance to like lean that car seat back if you needed to.
Jesse's gonna grab her battle belt with a couple mags and just ammo and her knife.
Okay, so you pull into this back lot. Out front is where the nightclub is, and you pull the van in while you guys are loading everything up, I assume. All right. Yeah, you might get some weird looks, but at this point, like how often are there cars in this lot? It's kind of your spot for the most part.
Oh, almost never.
Okay.
Basically
there is like a neighbor downstairs, but it's some old cat lady who you never really see. But you do see like probably a good 10 stray cats outside.
Goddamn. Bye, Patricia.
Lexi pets some of the cats.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they'd know you by now. They're probably okay with you. Done anything too crazy to them or anything. Yeah, there's like a large food bowl and water bowl outside. The water bowl's like fed from the gutter. It's not great. Yeah.
I empty out the water bowl and pour a little bit of alcohol in and just like take the bottle with me onto the car.
Oh jeez. Can make the cats
Lexi just looks at you like bewildered. It's like, what the fuck are you, savage?
Oh, I've been doing this for them for like a couple weeks now. It's fine.
You see one cat stagger and go straight for the.
Well, that's hilarious. Look at it.
It drinks some of the alcohol, walks a little ways away towards the nightclub, picks up a still burning like almost cigarette butt and smokes that for a little while. Yeah, you've created a monster here.
It's got to be better than that bullshit. Not even real water they're drinking. At least it's sterile, and then I just hop into the passenger seat.
You're a bad influence. Next week.
Okay. So now that we have drunk cat in the books, so you would Jack, you would know that this area, like I said, is kind of more for typically industrial workers. Towards the center is where you're going to find, your upstanding citizens. But there are some places where the equivalent of like net runners would be. Your cyber hackers. There's an area known pretty well for like cybernetic implants, uh, both legal and maybe not so much. And considering that the planet is a desert planet, and it's starting to get, it's dark now, and it's getting cold. The temperature extremes go from like at midday, 120 Fahrenheit easy, to, you know, in the dead of night, easily -20, -30 degrees. Um, and a lot of the work here is hard work, clearing and mining, that sort of thing. So a lot of industrial work. So a lot of people will get like cybernetic bits and pieces, if they can afford it, to get better jobs. The more you can do, the better job you can get, obviously. So a lot of people like replace arms and the like with implants, and you kind of have an idea of where that was. Give me a no check, just knowledge with intelligence, just to see how much you remember about this guy, because
Alright.
we'll see. Yeah,
Got a good memory, but not a great no, so we'll see how this goes.
that's fair.
9, not bad.
Hey,
Wow,
not
that's
bad,
actually
not
pretty
bad at
good.
all. Okay, so
Very
you
nice.
do remember that, like, when you were fixing up the car, right? It had some steering issue, basically, and you're kind of just futzing around. But you did see on essentially like a GPS screen, like on the console, on the in the center of the car, an address that was in that area. In fact, you can kind of remember the address for the most part. Um, it's in a little bit of a seedier part of town. Um, there are, you've probably met a couple people from that area, um, once in a while, and you might even set up over there periodically. I don't know. That's
Probably.
Completely up to you.
but the let's see. Nusis technology is located over there, and a lot of people tend to congregate in that area if they're essentially technophiles, for lack of a better term. Like, they just love cybernetics and that sort of thing. So your cyborgs and things like that you're going to find over there. You also would know that that's also sort of a haven for these maybe black hats, for lack of a better term.
Alright.
You have yeah. So you kind of remember that that's where it was. You even kind of remember at least down to like the block, where this was. You didn't get like an apartment number or anything, if it is an apartment, and you're not sure if it is or not, but more than likely it probably was. You do remember kind of the building itself, though, where that was. So
Alright.
would your van be hooked up to, like, so there is an automated system for driving, right? That you can tap into, and you can choose not to if you want to, but then like you take on insurance for yourself, and it's sort of an option that's available to you. Is your van capable of that, or like do you always opt out? What do you do?
I think he would be paranoid about people finding out where his van was via its GPS, so he would probably,
Okay.
if he didn't just opt out of it, he'd probably like rip it out, because he has done enough
Okay.
driving to like.
Yeah. You know the flow of traffic. You know how to kind of stay in, and not be noticed, and drive like an AI almost. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've ripped the GPS tracker out of it. So like, Did you spend a lot of time on that, like when you first got this van or whatever, or did you just like
Uh,
not really care? You just sort of like pulled it out of the front.
I think when I first got the van, he started it up the engine worked, a glorious moment of triumph, and then, welcome to your new GPS. Nope. And spent some time got over for another few hours working this thing out. Like it
Okay,
wouldn't
did
have
you
been
rip
like
out the entire console, or did you just rip out the GPS like
the
locator?
GPS thing. I
Okay.
probably would have tried to get somebody who was a bit more into programming to
Okay.
get into it, but
Okay.
yeah.
You may have. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you probably met like a couple people who actually knew what they were, knew what they were doing with their programming ability, and they rehooked it up so you could watch Netflix on your, while you're trying to go to sleep. But uh,
SpaceFlix.
Spaceflix,
God
yes.
damn it, it's a
Well,
thing now.
Facebook is a thing already, so
Mhm.
Spoogle's a
Yeah.
thing.
yep. Google is still a thing in this universe. It has survived 1,200 years, but Google is still around. But yeah, okay. So, and how long have you had this van? Just so I have it.
Probably since I got on planet, which is probably about 3 years.
Okay. Okay. That works. Cool. And just sort of, gives me some ideas.
Mhm.
So yeah, you guys sort of head off towards the net area if you guys want to have any conversations or like, uh, whatever on the way you can. But if not, we'll pick up when you get into the zone.
I
So
just kind of reiterate to them. So just to make sure, we're looking for a null citizen. I think he lives around here somewhere, probably in the hotel. Not hotel, apartment. It's the easiest place to check. Most populated area, and
okay.
tends to be where a lot of these guys hang out.
Cheeky name.
See anyone fitting that description, which don't know how you could, but whatever. Just for the record, null isn't 0. Just making sure you know that. All right, in we go.
Okay. So yeah, you guys head over to the apartment building, and
I leave the sniper rifle underneath, like in the non-visible area from the windows of the car.
okay. So like, let's,
Behind the seat, just basically.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna move you guys real quick to my little drawing thing. So this is kind of like how the city looks. It's weird. I recognize that. Let me just do it freehand. So like that right
Tablet
there.
still?
What's that?
Tablet?
Yeah, I'm using my tablet.
Sweet.
It's a
Super
really
fucking
good circle.
useful. Well, that's because I used the draw.
Shh. It's a really good circle.
Okay, I can draw circles really well. Except Busty knows that I can't because I can't draw heads, like people's heads. But yeah. So this is like this area right here, this sort of block is the industrial area. And it's where kind of the mining skiffs, I guess you could say, come in. So that not really spaceships, but like definitely like large hovering, uh, essentially like space dump trucks, for lack of a better term, right? That's where they come in.
Hey, Billy.
Hi,
Hey,
Billy.
Billy, how you
Hello.
doing? Oh God, not again.
What?
No, not you.
What did I do?
We're having technical difficulties in the thing.
Hey,
So,
Billy, if you
Billy.
want to create a character.
Yeah, want to join in on our sci-fi adventure?
This is the rules.
Rules are at the top, starts with a number.
I can just send you the thing, I think. Hold on.
It's very
yeah,
simple. You pick a concept and you roll with it, quite literally.
Yep. That's
And you
about
have
as
to
far
roll
as it goes.
stats. At
You
least
roll in order.
initially, yeah.
Sort of the old
In order. Sweet.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how I
right?
ended up with my 15 intelligence barbarian. He was called Conman the Barbarian.
Con man? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I gave him the charlatan background.
That's awesome. All right, here. I'll just put it here at the bottom of the Stars Without Number. There's the direct link to the edition we're using. It's a pretty quick build for characters, thankfully. But yeah.
Also, teenage link to the actual game.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'll get that.
What is everyone playing? Random things, or is there a
Uh,
team?
So we're playing basically random people who need to work together to get off a planet in 2 weeks because we've been marked for death. Basically, in 2 weeks
Yes.
we're going to be sent to a death place and be deathed.
Yes.
With
So
1,000
I
other
actually
people.
wrote it up really quickly in the setup. It's 4 paragraphs. It's pretty easy to go through if you want to. You're on a planet called Coda. They have a little bit of a Hunger Games type thing to keep the population in line, but instead of sending like what 25 or something like that,
24.
24 people, they send 1,000, and they're sort of the 1,000 like ne'er-do-wells or people that just don't contribute to society, or at least that the administration doesn't think contributes to the society. And you guys were picked, basically, and they give you basically like 2 weeks to live out the rest of your life before you're sent to the moon around Coda with a failed colony on it where a genetically modified hell beast lives called Rasputin. And it's a televised event. It's on like all the billboards, lasts for usually about a year. Well, he essentially hunts down all of them, and then another 1,000 go. And you guys are on the 1,000.
We're the
You would
stars
also know
on
that,
season
like,
562.
yeah, it's not quite that long, but it's probably been running for about 30 years or so. The planet Coda is a desert world. Has a lot of natural resources. A little bit of an allegory to the Middle East, but they have a lot of good shipbuilding resources specifically.
Do you have a
And if
stat
you jump in
macro?
there, what's that?
Do you have a stat macro?
Oh,
Or should I just roll them?
Just roll
just
3d6.
roll them. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Yeah, it's just straight 3d6. And see what happens. Okay. That's a whole bunch of zeros so far, and
Average man.
Actually, that's
you get to change
about-
one of them to a 14 of your choice, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
Yep.
depending on what
That'd be
you
the 8.
plan on going. Or
Yeah,
maybe
you can
keep
make-
the 8 and boost something
That
to
being
get that
said-
+1. Because 14
Yeah,
shit,
so
they're in order,
basically
aren't
you have a unique opportunity to just kind of choose where you want to go with this.
Yeah. You also, just so you know, I mean, the party composition is essentially 2 warrior types and a pilot / mechanic guy so far. So, I mean, if you want to, like, I don't care what you play. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's a one-shot anyway. But yeah, we'll just sort of throw you in once you're done. It doesn't take very long, thankfully. And you can grab the other character sheet in there. It is that one.
Utank. There we go.
Let's just change this and say Billy.
All
No,
right.
I like Irisley U-Tank.
Oh well, I fucking changed it. So
Fuck
sorry.
you.
You can always rename it back.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it could be a roasty U-Tank, and he could be like a middle-aged man called Uncle Iroh.
Now I need to make an airbender.
Well,
You
could-
psionics
you
is a
could.
thing.
Could you go with the telekinetic? Yeah. Works
Oh,
for
there's 2 fighty people and a pilot.
Yeah, you got a sniper, a close combat heavy weapons specialist, and
a non-combatant.
and a grease monkey.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, that's
He's got a bit more to him than that, I will mention, but yes, he is basically a grease monkey.
yeah.
Yeah, so just like that's a summary of page 4 of the actual like book itself. That is invaluable. Just follow that in order.
Yeah,
So-
it's pretty easy to set up, honestly.
So you just pick your background now on step 3.
Mark down your attribute modifiers.
Yep. So you just put in your stats in the sheet, and it'll do your modifiers for you and all. And you can roll your skills with. They're more like tool proficiencies in D&D, so you can roll it with any stat depending on what stat is applicable at the time. So don't worry about that.
You also get to roll for skills instead of the character creation if you want to, or just pick 2 skills.
Yeah.
Is 8 not a minus?
No,
Nope.
it's a 0.
It's
It
just
is in
shit.
fact the limit of 0.
Yeah, it'll
If
tell you
go
what the
in 7 is
modifier
-1.
thresholds are on in
Yeah,
step
so
2.
skill checks aren't done with a d20. They're done with 2d6.
It's
Pick a
much.
background from the list on page 9.
Yep, there's quite a few. Let's well, since we're kind of at the point where you guys are headed to the part in the city, let's just take a couple minutes and let Billy hopefully get caught up. And
Yeah, let's swarm him with our knowledge.
Indeed.
One of
But,
us. One of us.
but yeah, we'll just sort of pick it up as you guys sort of arrive at the apartment building for all intents and purposes.
Mm-hmm. Where we meet a random stranger who is also on our quest.
We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm not sure. I
Or
love this game for like, I don't know. D&D always feels like more interconnected, I guess you could say, if that makes sense. Like the whole world is more interconnected than like a sci-fi adventure where each planet can kind of have its own thing and be separate from other planets in my head.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, here's the thing. When you think of a sci-fi adventure, you think of interplanetary travels, inter-solar system travels, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that each planet is more than just a city. Each planet has its own ecosystem that is
And
hardly
continents.
definable to a city, which is
Yeah. I
makes
agree.
sci-fi a bit hard to run.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that Stars Without Number does it pretty well in a certain sense. It kind
Yeah,
of
it's hard to get between planets. Is the whole thing with
Yeah.
stars. It's a post-apocalyptic sci-fi thing,
yeah,
which
and I
is
kind of dig that. And it also means that like a planet with only like a few cities makes sense,
hmm
right? Uh, so I don't know. I mean, it
This
doesn't always make sense. Like TL5
this is
Warpla,
the one. This is the 100-kilometer area where all the escape pods landed. Therefore, it's where all the cities are.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, yeah, in this case, it's actually a place where the one of the industrial bases is set up.
I imagine it's
Yeah,
more like
there are like a good like 10 of them on this planet, but
I imagine it's more like a grim, dark, hard science Destiny 2 or Destiny. You know, post collapse and golden.
I
Age
wouldn't
tech.
say a hard science, but
yeah, it's not. I
definitely a
wouldn't
bit
call
more
this.
grounded than Destiny.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't call this hard science exactly, but it's definitely on the harder edge of science fiction, as
Mhm.
opposed to something like Star Wars or whatever.
Are we rolling or picking skills?
You can choose.
Whatever
Depends
you want,
your
man.
choice.
Yeah, you can.
But you do get more skills and stuff if you roll.
Yeah. So the thing with the
Okay.
skills is you have one free skill you pick, and then you can either choose to pick 2 skills of your choice, or you can roll 3 times.
Your choice.
And those 3 rolls,
I'll be back in
you can
just-
split those rolls between growth stats, which is just like to boost your stats, your ability scores, or roll for random skills. There should be a table for that.
And your free skill is not chosen, by the way. It's per thing.
Yeah, it'll tell you what your free skill is.
Okay.
And it'll give you a table of like, if you roll for growth stats, it's your D6, and then learning is D8.
Okay, yeah, so it either says take these as quick skills or roll for them.
Quick skills is like recommended, but like not like
Yeah,
as long
yeah.
as it's related to your background, you can take it.
I quite liked all the quick skills, actually. I think those would be the ones I picked.
All right.
And you don't have to set them to 0 if you want. You could actually have like them set to a 1 if you want to stack your skills.
Right. Oh, I see. If you roll, you can get mental stats and stuff up as well.
Yep. That's what I that's part of where the character of Jack came from, is that he got 2 mental ups, and I thought, let's get an 18 intelligence. That sounds fun. Yeah.
What background is everyone?
Technician.
Oh, that's what I just picked.
No, fair enough.
Soldier.
And someone's a pilot?
No, I took technician, and then I rolled pilot as one of my skills.
Oh, I
That's what
see.
happened there.
Oh, we already have a very smart technician.
Yeah, but if it's a different skill set, then
You have the same character archetype, but how you can play him is a lot more open.
So you're a pilot-y technician.
I am probably not the best pilot, but I'm a better pilot than most people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what the levels are. So -1 is your modifier to those rolls. And then you get 0 modifier, +1 modifier, and +2 modifiers.
I might take pilot-y pilot then.
Oh, sounds good.
Just so you know, the maximum level you can get just to start out at level 1 is a level 1 skill. That goes up to level 2 when you hit level 3, I think.
That made no sense out of
Your
context.
level
just
cap
wanted to
is your
mention.
skill cap.
Well, this is a one shot. I don't think it's going to matter right now.
Yeah. I'm thinking way too far down the line.
Is it wrong to like fall in love with one of your characters? Because I can't stop drawing this Lexi character, and she's fucking amazing.
No, it's your brainchild. I don't think anybody's gonna fault you for drawing more of your own art.
Oh, and you do start with max health, basically.
Who's Max and how much health did he have?
1d6 if you're anything but a warrior.
1d6 plus your con mod, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting that part.
Yep. Just want to make sure it was there as a thing. All right. So, yeah, for the setup, basically, you're not necessarily ne'er-do-well or criminal or anything. You can be. But, it's pretty well known that this is also a way for people, if they can pull the right strings, people at the top of the society, to get rid of people that they don't like. So really and truly, you might have just pissed off the right person or the wrong person in this case.
Is everyone a human?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone gender bending?
What do you mean?
The 2 warriors are.
Yeah.
But they're playing women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I always play women just for the underdog aspect. Most people play guys. I don't know. I've noticed that.
I play
women
guys in
games.
Thunder's game because I don't think I can do a voice or whatever. It just feels a little bit odd, but at the
Well,
same
I
time,
can't do a female's voice, but I still talk.
yeah, I know.
I like
I
playing
play a guy
women.
because I am a guy, and it's more relatable.
I like to play women in video games, but just like, yeah, men is a little bit easier to do. But
You like to follow that ass in third person.
I mean, yeah,
your words, not mine.
not the worst.
He still hasn't denied it.
That was always my excuse, but like at the same time, I don't know. I think doing that and seeing if things change somehow could be kind of entertaining. I might gender bend, so to speak, at some point. We'll see. All right, I can do. I need my free hand. Okay. All right. So how you doing there, Billy?
I'm picking skills.
Fair enough.
I took pilot because I'm a pilot.
Neat.
Okay.
That's why I
Yeah.
might put all my points in pilot.
You can't exceed your level.
My
But if
level
you're
0.
picking skills, then you can put pilot in 1 to 0, then put pilot in 1 to put to 1. I
Yeah,
guess.
but you can't go above 1
No,
basically
you can't.
until you get to level 2, in which case you can go. I think that. Haven't done a lot of like leveling up. I've run a couple one shots to get an idea of how the game is played.
Okay, I need to pick a foci?
Yes, foci.
Basically a unique skill for yourself.
Yep.
Where are they?
Are you an expert?
I am a pilot.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
yo.
background.
What's your class?
Yeah.
Oh.
Class is
no
next.
choice.
So your background is like your background in D&D, but it's a lot more important in this game. It feels like anyway. And then your class is what you do. So you can be a warrior, psychic. Psychic is a thing. Expert or adventurer, which is sort of like a hybrid.
You can combine 2 classes if you want.
Yeah.
I'll probably go expert.
Okay. So yeah, expert you get, I think 2 foci.
Again, a free level and a non-combat focus related to my background.
Yep.
And then you get to pick another one.
Yeah, you get 2 focuses. Foci. Whatever.
Thought you'd said earlier that you only get 1 though.
Yep. No, I fucked up. That was something that was brought to my attention. So if you only have 1, then you can add another.
I think
That was
psychics
my
are the
fuck
only
up
ones that
completely.
get 1.
Yep, that was my complete fuck up. That's on me.
Yay, power ups mid game.
What is a focus?
These are special abilities that you have.
Go to
sort
page
of-
20 and you'll see a list of focus that are basically like
There we
kind
go.
of like feats, basically.
Yeah, that would be a good way to explain it. They are basically feats, and you get to pick, I think, non-combat ones that are
Yeah.
related, to your background and things. So, or whatever.
Yeah, you pick 1 non-combat and then one that's related to your class.
Yeah. So.
You know, this rulebook is great, but it'd be nice if it says this next bit is on page such and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
It does that for like the first 3 steps, but then it just kind of
Yeah,
peters
Yeah,
off.
it stops.
it just gave up.
Yeah, it's not great for that, but yeah, if you guys want to go for a ship, Starfarer is not a bad choice if nobody has it. I'm just gonna put that out there because, fuck, man, the random table for fucking up a spike drive jump is not cool.
So if I already picked a skill and I can gain a skill, can I use it to gain the
Yes.
same skills I have?
Yeah.
Yes,
Up
and then you
till-
can it's just like picking any skills in D&D. If you get a skill from like your background, you can then go back to your,
Okay.
yeah. So that's not a problem.
And as for focus, you can pick the same one to get the second level in that focus, but or you could split it across 2 foci.
Torn between 2 interesting foci.
There are some pretty cool ones in here, honestly.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it. Tinker feels like it'd be something you do.
I
Counts. Or if you've already
maybe.
got it.
I don't already have it, but I'm torn between Tinker, Psychic Training, and Hacker.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, maybe you've done some, you've done enough work on like the stuff in the car, and you kind of have an idea of like how stuff works.
I imagine Jack's kind of guy who can pick stuff up like that. So
Okay, he's a little bit of a savant when it comes to electronics,
yeah,
but he usually focuses on the mechanical stuff.
yeah. Like if I read correctly, 18 is certifiable genius. So I imagine he is kind of a little bit of a savant.
Fair enough.
It doesn't. +2 isn't exactly a genius level intelligence per se, but it's the highest
In
you
this
can
game,
get.
it is.
Yeah.
In this game, it is. So, yeah.
So it'll either be that or I could max out Fix and have a 3 dice in it, which would be neat. But
Yeah.
3d6 take the highest.
Would
drop the lowest.
Starfarer be wasted?
Starfare? If you guys get a ship, it sure as fuck wouldn't. If this was beyond just one shot ever, like if we started running this like properly, like it wouldn't.
It's about stellar spike drills.
Yeah, so stellar spike drills is how you get from like one place to another.
Okay.
So here, I'll just quickly change screens here. This is where you guys are. So you can see it's a bunch of hexes. You guys are currently in number 607. To get from one place to another, one hex over, right? It requires a spike jump. And
Will we be doing that?
You might be. It depends on what you. I mean, like I'm playing this pretty open, pretty sandboxy.
so the current plan is to find a place to stow away off the planet. If that doesn't work, we might have to fly ourselves off the planet. So it may very well come into play.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
either that or Star Captain.
Ship combat, that's fair too. Yeah, I'm not 100% like I'm still working out some of the ship combat stuff. I'm trying to understand it exactly, but I think I kind of get it for the most part. It's weird because it's not the same as the older version, which I'm more familiar with, basically. But we'll see what happens.
I like psychic training because then I can get basically Spidey sense with spatial awareness.
Yeah. There's also like another one that's like if you're gonna die in the next like minute or something, it'll tell you.
Wait, hold on.
That's divination. I have gone with teleportation.
Psychic training requires that you be a psychic, have partial psychic class.
Partial psychic, I have that. You just haven't seen it yet.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yet I am still unsure.
Yeah, I get 2, don't I?
Yeah?
You get 2 total, yeah.
I can spend both on the same one.
You can double down, get level 2 on Star Captain.
Yeah.
Or
pick anything else.
Yeah. Either one works. The other option is, if you've been around a lot, it makes some sense to maybe have one of the ones like diplomat or whatever. Or connected could be useful. I mean, all these are actually, in my opinion, like all the foci are actually like useful for almost everyone.
I just read the focus text for connected. Level 1. Gain bonus. Connect as bonus skill if you spend a week. You'll have built a web of contacts willing to do favors for you that are no more than mildly illegal.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
So you also get experts get the ability to reroll one skill check. What I'm per scene supposedly, but basically it's like between breaks, and I think we're gonna do like a break every hour or whatever. So like once an hour you can kind of reroll a skill check. And then warriors get the same thing, but for combat related stuff. And I don't know what adventurers get exactly. I don't remember now. Let's see.
They get basically the 2 class abilities from their 2 things, but not their main. So I don't get the luck from expert.
Okay. Or the one for warriors.
Or yeah, or
Like
psychic.
if you were expert in warriors.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do, however, get yeah. Do you start with 3 foci then if you go partial warrior, partial expert?
Yep.
Yeah.
Neat.
I think so. Also, if you're partial psychic, then you have MES.
Oh yeah.
Which is a disease which causes the psychic condition basically. It's not like an outwardly noticeable disease, but like you might be more sensitive to certain things, and it's I like the stuffs with this. I really like the fluff, I guess.
I'm gonna dip into programming, I think. Ignore what I said about not being good with.
Yeah.
Actually,
All right.
screw it. We're doubling up on fixer. 1 to fix.
Okay. All right.
So now I roll 3 dice and take the highest 2, and I have a +3 to fix int checks.
Holy shit. So you get a minimum of like 6 or 7.
Minimum of like 9, I think.
Oh, fuck.
It's statistically, anyways.
Yeah, that's fair.
I could roll 2 and then get 2 1s, or 3 1s and then get a 5, but that is
right.
highly unlikely.
Billy, starting credits is 1,000. So just you can pick your equipment from 1,000.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know if that actually equals like what the equipment packages are, but
I just bought equipment. I didn't bother with
it's
package.
just easier to do it that way. Yeah.
It's still in the higher tier. It's in the fucking 80
Yeah.
percentile of money.
Mm-hmm.
Choose an equipment package. Oh no, you're saying we have just have money.
Yeah. If you have 1,000, and if you want, we can just sort of roll, and then here in just in a minute or whatever, and you can just sort of be like, all right, I just have this because I bought it or whatever. As long as you can justify carrying it with you at the moment. That's all. But yeah. All right. So yeah. You want to give me like a basic idea of who your dude is?
He's a pilot.
He's a pilot, defunct pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a bomber jacket?
I'm gonna assume I don't know, scuffed up someone else's ship, maybe delivered something to the wrong place.
Okay. You're out of work pilot, basically.
Shut up! I'm not out of work. I'm just between jobs.
Okay.
You're out of work.
Okay.
I'm now a drunk.
Fair enough. So Higgs. Okay.
I fly better when I'm drunk.
What's that? Do I hear the Terran Classic Danger Zone coming over somewhere?
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so in this case, say you were... Yeah. All right. So yeah, you haven't really had much in the way of jobs. You either delivered something to the wrong place, maybe took a job from the wrong person, and were smuggling things, and you didn't even know it necessarily. And bad things happened after that, and you're stuck. having gotten the mark. By the way, I need you to roll me a D100.
1,000.
Sorry, yeah, 1,000. My bad.
Who's rolling that?
You.
You. Okay.
Oh.
So you get this sort of like hex pattern tattoo on you from precinct. It'll be precinct 17 is where you had to go. They took you to a classroom, explained the situation to you that basically in 2 weeks you're gonna die. They're giving you 2 weeks to get your life in order and have fun before you get sent to the moon. Basically, you get a tattoo, sort of a hex pattern tattoo with the number 285 on it. You get to choose where it is as long as it's in a pretty well visible spot. Like we're talking like face, neck, forearm, hand, whatever, that sort of thing. It's a pretty big tattoo though.
Hmm.
So you get to pick where that goes necessarily. And then at the same time you would know this a little while at least. It's a televised thing, like kind of like the Hunger Games. But at the same time you also know that like nanites also get injected into you. That if you go through certain security doors or anything like that, like say around the spaceports and the like, it goes off. People come for you. You get locked up in a cell until you get shipped off. It's just how it works.
Great.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really like seeing that. They kind of look at you with pity because kind of know what's going on. Everybody on the planet knows what's going on. And a lot of places just don't really do business with people that are quote unquote chosen for the culling. So that's the situation. I'll let you kind of do your thing. And I don't think we're gonna do like the D&D adventure. What is it? Not Adventure Zone. What's the Wizard of the Coast version?
Adventures League?
Dice camera action?
Yeah, Adventures League.
Oh,
Where they just
What are you
sort of
talking
like
about?
drop you in the party and they're like, you're here now. I think we'll come up with something here, but I figure you might be the drunk outside one of the doors to the apartment places, drinking your sorrows away. The mark pretty relatively visible wherever you say, just covering your entire face. Your mouth makes up the 8. That'd be great.
No.
That being said, I think everybody took it on decided their forearm was where they were doing it.
It seems standard.
Follow suit, fall in line. All right, my pizza's almost done, so I'm gonna grab that real quick. Well, you
Gotcha.
finish it, but yeah. What I will say is, you guys do roll up to the apartment complex. It has an underground parking garage and then street side parking, and it's kind of one of those. It's like a large square building with like a courtyard in the middle, and it goes up like probably about 12 to 15 floors, somewhere in that range. There's just kids playing. It's pretty ratty. Everything looks like half beaten to a pulp. It's not. It doesn't look great. Let's just say that. But it's it's kind of a slum. And that's where you guys are going to show up. You can park where you want. You guys can decide on how you want to go about it. That's fine. And pick up there in just a minute. Go grab my pizza because the dinghy just went up.
All right.
What color hair do you think Lexi has? What kind of hair do you imagine her to have?
Probably like spiky blonde. Is my initial thought. It is if she's Russian, though. It might be more like a.
blue, dark blue, almost
Oh,
black.
yeah. If you want to go sci-fi. Yeah, we are in a sci-fi thing, so it makes sense we go sci-fi.
I'd say pink, but that's a little bit on the nose.
Well, the way I got her decorated, pink actually might work.
In that case, go with it.
Oh, I got an idea. All right, cool.
Yay! We have a kind of a party now.
A little bit. Oh, is what is it? What was the name? Tibbs? Something like that? Can I start with the T?
What are we talking about?
What's Billy's character's name?
We don't know yet.
What? It's not Tibbs.
Oh, I thought you named your character. Okay, never mind.
It's fucking Tibbs
But-
now.
Okay, sure.
his call sign's Tibbs.
I thought there was like a T and then something, and that came to my head. Either way, is he any good with a weapon?
It was Ireluz Utank before.
Yeah.
It's fucking Tibbs. Tibbs McGee.
Who's gonna be our pilot? I call Tibbs.
Yep.
God damn it. But what was your question regarding weapons?
Is Tibbs any good with one?
I have a
find
shoot
it.
of 0.
Okay, well that's better than me.
I will buy a gun.
You're gonna want to pick up at least 60 rounds of
I think
ammo
that's all I need to do now is write down my
for the long term.
gear. Does it automatically work out your saving throws?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
It's just based on what your stat mods are.
My stats are shit.
You're pretty
You
average.
should have all 15s, I think. Aside from if you have a higher int, aside from, or maybe dex, depending on your pilot.
I have a 0 and everything.
Okay, then it might be. It should be all 15s.
Yeah. Right, gear.
I would suggest picking up a compad. They're useful.
You're
They're
a
basically
compad.
small. I mean, sure, why not?
How
Yeah,
much is an equipment package?
You just pick one.
Yeah.
Oh, 100 credits. Oh, I just pick one?
Yeah, you just pick one, and the
You
credits
get-
listed there is what you get in pocket.
Yeah, that's what's left over.
Ah.
Yeah. So I did a little bit of math, and it's roughly about 1,000 in total. So yeah, you can just go with like an equipment package if you. It's up to you.
Oh, fuck me, that's actually a lot of ammo I've got strapped to my fucking belt. I've got like 4 magazines.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Technician pack's not bad.
Let's see. Okay, so it actually starts you with like 1,100. So whatever, it's fine. You guys can. Let's just do this. We'll you guys each get an extra 100 credits.
Oh, that's
That'll
really
make
it
generous.
easier.
Thank you.
Yeah, why not?
Rybin is about the same level of
nice
great DM as Thunder.
Nah, Thunder's better than I am. He's been doing it for much longer. And probably thought out worlds a lot better than I ever have.
Debatable.
No.
I'm not going to argue, but it's debatable.
It's debatable, sure, but I wing most of the shit that I do. I find.
I
it
think
more
that
fun.
means. I mean, that's just how things work. Also, I'm buying a compad. With that
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because compads are about 100, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they are exactly 100.
Okay, yeah, because I was just looking at the civilian, it's secure clothing and compad, and then 700 credits left over. Secure clothing is 300,
Mhm.
so that means it should be about 100 credits disparity, so 1,100 credits to start.
Well, shit, I might just buy some better. Hold on. Where is the armors?
And hey, it's 0 encumbrance, so I can ready it. That's nice.
Yep.
Should alphabetize my list.
Yeah, time is a big factor in this game, basically. That's probably the biggest factor, actually. Is, like if you're going to run this long term, you'd want a calendar for sure. Because,
Mhm.
payments on things, maintenance costs, just the light, all that stuff.
The amount of
adds
time
up.
it takes to do certain things.
Yeah. I mean, it's 6 days travel, but taxes be 8 hours into the system, and then 6 hours of travel anywhere within the system for the most part. So like, time is a big factor in this game, but like, it's not that bad. So typically, I think I asked last time, and I guess I'll do it now. Who wants to be the records keeper in a way? Overall,
Not a,
because fair enough. I did throw a new handout in there, just party stuff.
Oh,
You
I
guys can use
had
that.
that filled out last time.
No, party shit is still there. It's just invisible now
Oh,
because it's not this game. Yeah, and it is partially filled out anyway.
I
It's got
guess
some
I
stuff.
can do it for now.
Can't find the knife in the melee weapons.
Monoblade.
Yeah,
It's
not there.
just any small weapon.
Yeah, it's a small primitive weapon.
Yeah,
Is it not small advanced?
Yeah, small advanced or small primitive. Just pick small
Yeah,
advanced.
either one. Basically, like, it's the difference between like a knife and like a vibro knife or something. So
All right, Lexi removes the power cell from her plasma projector and puts it on her person when we get there.
okay. So yeah, you're in the back of the van.
I have to be.
Lexi's is never in a seat. Lexi doesn't do
She's
seats.
either on top of a car or in the back of it.
In the back of a van, yeah. Okay. Sure, that works. Let me just make sure everything here makes sense to me. And let's get to where I wanted to be. There we go. Okay. So, for the purpose of this, let's just pick it up here, and you can kind of work on equipment in the background, Billy, if that works.
Yeah, I'm basically done.
All right. So, yeah, you guys roll up to the apartment building. There is like on-street parking or whatever, but then there's definitely like a parking garage underneath the building, which you don't, it's got like large steel doors that you're not able to access without the right stuff. But you're here. Like I said, it's busy. There's like still like a bunch of kids running around in the courtyard area. Um, lots of people. What do you want to do?
Lexi sheathes her great sword, kisses her plasma projector, strokes it, and then very gently sets it behind one of the seats out of view.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, so we have a sniper rifle and a plasma projector hidden in the van. Fair enough.
Not suspicious at all.
Wait, can I bring plasma projector with me?
That's
to-
your
to-
call. Might not be the best idea, though.
To a meeting
Yeah.
in a housing complex? Maybe not.
Do we need a token or anything?
No. I'm playing this mostly theater of the mind, but
But if you want us to see what you look like,
yeah, I mean, you can definitely like put a token out there as or like a picture or something.
Yeah.
That's fine. Or
Right,
if you
so-
want to, you can like drop a picture here in the Discord chat so that everybody has an idea. Like, I'm fine with that too. Whatever works.
So
you guys.
we're just waiting for this meeting to begin?
Well, where are you in the you're in this apartment complex. Maybe you have an apartment here or something like that. Where are you in general though? There's a van that drove up outside. It's like a mechanic's van. Ratty, mostly broken. Grav van though. You are on a TL4 planet, so like think typical cyberpunk sort of thing. Maybe, there's like almost Star Wars tech.
Huh, maybe they need their van fixing. Then I can charge.
On the
them.
side, you see Jack's mechanic. Basically, it's the mechanic's van. So
Shit.
yeah, what are you doing? Or there's a large courtyard. There are benches and tables. It's sort of like a communal area. And I mean it's probably a bit ratty, a little bit. There's like trash around almost everywhere. It's not a great place to live, but like also it's cheap. And you are, for the purposes of this, just so you know, you're kind of up here in this area in the city. So this is the city
We're
map.
still on the
We're on the star map.
sector map.
Oh, right. Yeah, I need to move you guys. Hold on. There we go. So yeah, you guys are up here.
Yes.
All right.
And for the rest of you, for you guys, you were kind of down over in this area, sort of the 11th precinct area. Sort of split it up by like what the area does for the most part.
This is then residential, basically.
This is cyber tech area. This is sort of advanced technology towards this area.
Oh,
But
alright.
basically the outer areas are usually residential areas.
Okay.
And then the inner area is, more high end and all. This is almost all, this section here is almost all like factories and the like. This is residential, that sort of thing. Usually people live there if they work at like the spaceports or something. So if they work here, they usually live in this area. That sort of thing. But basically, the further away from the center of the city you get, the more rundown it gets.
Gotcha.
This big circle here represents the shield wall, which is a large, probably 30-meter tall wall meant to help keep out like the dust and sand from the frequent sandstorms that happen. And so this area here, this wall, is also one of those. Some other things that you would know, Billy, is that the like all the spaceports are covered, are like they're like they look like large warehouses, and they have sort of pullback roofs, almost like giant sunroofs, because the dust is so bad, and also because this place is pretty security conscious within the planet. They don't really want people that aren't supposed to be running away. That being said, people with sidearms and the like, that's not uncommon. What is uncommon is like full shock troops or something like that walking around. But open carry is pretty normal, at least on the outside of the city. Yeah, that's the basics. A lot of people here are industrial workers. As the rest of you are walking into, or I assume you just park the van and then sort of take a walk or whatever.
I'm gonna take note of the sight lines and any escape routes or stuff like that.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I mean it's an apartment building. There's plenty of ways in and out, but like, there's not a lot that really jumps out at you as like defensible positions, I don't think.
No, just like if things go fucking wrong, like
just
where,
know how to
where
get
to go.
out of the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the exits are still relatively clearly marked. Some of the signs are dead, and a couple of them are broken, but you can recognize where the stairwells and elevators and this sort of thing are. But actually, one of the things here that might be a little different to the rest of the city that you would have seen is a lot of the people in this apartment complex. A lot of the adults anyway have like cybernetic arms, like powerlifting arms, basically built to carry large loads or handle like super heavy equipment. You would know that this is primarily because of the fact that that helps you get better jobs, and this is kind of the center for doing cybernetic work and the like. But yeah, so what are you doing, Billy? And what's your Drunk. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you know me.
Tibbs. All right, fair enough. I like the name Tibbs McGee.
Blame Thunder.
Fair enough. All right,
You
are you
said
just
Tibbs. I added McGee.
fair enough. So are you like on like one of the benches just drinking away, or are you, what's up?
Yeah, I'll do. I'm just kind of just watching the world go by,
Okay.
keeping my eye on any interesting characters.
Okay. The temperature's definitely dropping at this point, because we're definitely getting into, the sun is set um, and it's starting to get cold. Like properly cold. I don't know what it would be in Celsius, but it's, it's not quite below freezing yet, but
It's about 16
that's
or
pretty
17.
normal. I don't know.
What?
16, 17
That's not
Celsius.
cold. That's nowhere near freezing.
No.
Oh. Did
0 is like, I would think it would be like 3 or 4.
Okay. You mean
is-
that?
is
That's a
closer.
cold.
Okay.
Yeah, because 0 is freezing in Celsius. So,
Anything below 10, and we're like, probably need a coat today.
yeah, it's definitely like it's sort of like that late fall, like late October, early November weather where it's definitely cold. I mean, I don't know if it's the same in the UK, but I assume it's cold and rainy. It's not quite like freezing rain yet, area yet, but like it's getting there. It's not pleasant. But the air's dry. It's like I said, desert planet.
So yeah, imagine the one upside living on a desert planet. Don't have to worry about rain.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
So.
Ironically,
Jack,
it's the same on frozen planets.
Yeah.
you've seen this guy. We'll have you lead the way here. We don't know what the hell he looks like. He's your contact.
To be honest, neither do I. When I saw him, he had a bandana over his face, but he gave me a calling card in exchange for a payment. Fixed up his car, which was originally something that probably would have cost him the fortune he didn't have, but I'm kind of glad I kept on to this. It seems
Useful.
important now, useful.
Yeah. So as you walk in, you do see a drunk Tibbs. If you want to describe what you look like a little bit, give him an idea.
Yeah, sure. He's sort of about 6 foot, I would say. Not like huge, but still a fairly tall guy. Dark hair, kind of sitting there in his hat. Sort of, you see the tattoo is on his left hand, on the back of his hand, and as he's just kind of idly drumming his fingers against the table.
Mind you, the thing is almost like a foot across, so it would probably go up your forearm. Like it's a big fucking mark. Like they want you
it
to
will
like,
go along my
run
forearm then.
and they want it to like really broadcast. Like they don't want you to be able to hide it at all, right?
I'm not even attempting to hide it.
Yeah. So you see a drunk dude with a tattoo with a different number on it as you walk in.
He's like most definitely either an ex-pilot or like a current pilot. You obviously wouldn't know, but he has in his like pilot's jacket.
Okay.
Mhm.
Got a bomber jacket with like wings on it and shit.
Yeah, it's most clearly either it belongs to me or I stole it, but it's definitely a pilot's jacket.
Yeah, I kind of look at him and say, well, I kind of see what they're going for there, but still.
This is your contact.
No, he's. Well, maybe he might know where he is. Hold on. I'll walk up to
Still a
you, sort of
drunk
sit
man.
alongside you. Howdy. Name's Jack. You wouldn't happen to know any of the residents around here, would you?
Hey, who what now?
You wouldn't happen to know any of the residents around here, any particular citizens, per se.
I might do.
All right. Look, I'm
Just
looking for.
walked up to me and sat down. I've got to be a little guarded.
Yeah, I know. Look, I'm looking for a good friend of mine. You might recognize him from this, and I'll show him the paper.
Okay. So you see a piece of paper with like, it's some car name, similar to like a Camaro, but not a Camaro actually. But that sort of area, with the name Null Citizen next to it.
You know anyone? Know anyone like that? Know anyone who drives that kind of call sign?
Do I?
Well, let's see. Let's make you make a check for fun. Actually, you know what? What I will say is this will be pretty easy for you if you've been living here for a little while. So it'll be a no check with intelligence to remember. See how this goes.
He has been
No, I roll
consuming a lot of alcohol.
So in your sheet, click the little like pencil thing in the top right.
So that it's gray.
Yeah, so that's
Gotcha.
good. And then just set no where it says ask, set it to intelligence, and then click it.
As in notice?
No,
No,
it'll
just
be
no, like knowledge.
It'll be remembering where
Oh,
stuff is. 'Cause, like
yeah,
this
no,
guy
no.
isn't there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. The skills are a little weird, but whatever.
It'll ask you for about.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is it's not hard. Like you don't recognize that person, right, or necessarily that car, but you definitely know that there are. You definitely like recognize the type of name that is. It's sort of like an online handle, for lack of a better term. And you do know that there are kind of a group of people who might be more of like the hacking persuasion that inhabit this uh, apartment complex. Third floor, you would know kind of roughly where they are. Um, you've definitely like seen the type, but you probably wouldn't know the name exactly.
Well, can't say I know him personally, but he might be looking for someone on the third floor.
Good to know. You wouldn't happen to have any other insight on them, would you?
I don't know the people on the third floor. I kind of live on insert floor here.
Yeah, just wherever the nicest pile of trash is that he can sleep on. Sorry, it's my own
Bunch of hacker types keep to themselves.
Yeah, you would also know that they do have drones that they sort of fly around the apartment complex periodically, sort of as their own security. Nobody really gives a shit about them because they're not really a big deal.
I just kind of point to one. I assume there's probably one
Yeah,
visible.
there's definitely like one sort of overflying the place. It's drab brown, sort of blends in for the most part. From what anybody can see, it's kind of got like a camera and like a light that's turned off. It's like it's like a quadcopter, like one of the larger ones that you see nowadays, basically. It seems a little bit low tech, but it's got a whole bunch of like weird. You can even see from here, it's got like weird wires sticking out here and there, and kind of like um, it's sort of attached to the camera. There's like a large like black box that you kind of assume is maybe a transponder or who knows. Yeah, you can see that, and it's sort of flying, probably at about mid-level within the apartment, like around like the 5th or 6th floor, just sort of watching over
does
stuff.
Tibbs point up to it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll look up, see if I notice it.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious. Like it's not super loud or anything, but it's just floating there, not really doing anything. It's just sort of it's basically like a security camera on a couple of propeller blades. It doesn't seem like it's much more than that.
All right.
It's not like the security drones that you guys fought from before. Those were a bit bigger and a bit more scary.
So I look at the drone and just say, yeah, we do them another favor. That's not what I call a good little job, but
yeah, no,
hey.
It's shoddy work. It looked like it's a rat's nest basically attached to this thing somewhere.
We'll see what we can do.
Underslung.
You look a bit out of water. Do you need a guide?
Might do. Not been around here much. Which is a blatant lie, but
yeah.
For the time being,
you do recognize the tattoo on him as well, obviously. So I mean, and Billy, your character would definitely see the tattoos on the 3 people who are talking to you. Like you would definitely recognize that.
Oh, looky here.
I want to see if he's armed.
Notice, I guess. I mean, notice with wisdom. I mean, unless you're not, if you have anything hidden anyway. If you don't, like, it's fine. You can tell me.
I mean,
Alright.
there's a sidearm, like just a holstered pistol.
Yeah. I mean,
I have a knife, but you know, it's basically in my pocket. You probably wouldn't see that.
yeah, no, you definitely wouldn't.
But I have an obvious laser pistol.
Okay.
All right. Just gonna
So,
keep
yeah,
my
yeah,
eye on him.
It's holstered, but not in a like. I'm not holding it.
Yeah, yeah. You're not like pointing it at them and being like, "Be friends with me."
Both my hands are above the table.
This is
One
not
of
a
them on
fucking.
a bottle of cheap scotch.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to throw that at you.
This is not a cantina situation.
Oh God! If only I had the cantina music right now, I would be so happy. But I don't. I can do this. That counts. That's not a very good one. Oh, psychopath loop.
That was very ominous.
I know.
I look to see if he has a gun.
Everything goes in
The
slow mo
drone
and sepia.
comes down and transforms into a Xeno. You're now playing Alien.
Oh
No.
shit! They're
I
coming
love
out of the walls.
Yeah.
Which one? Isolation or Marines?
Isolation.
Oh, well, shit.
Oh, did you guys
Yeah,
hear about the
that's a
why
bad day
Marines
right
was a
there,
terrible
right?
game?
Yeah, because Gearbox fucked it up.
No, because
Get a
apparently it
flamethrower,
was
you'll be
one
fine.
typo in the line of coding.
I don't think that's true. I think
That was the main reason why the AI were just fucking rushing you instead of staying where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, well, that and the graphics were terrible, and then it didn't line up with what they actually showed, and yeah.
Yeah,
It just-
downgrading
Either
is
way,
anything.
Yeah.
I will mention to Tibbs here. Yeah, look, we might have some business with them, and tell you what, that business might be beneficial to you if you wouldn't mind coming along, showing us around, that kind of thing. Maybe you could put in some word for us. Name's Jack, by the way. I hold out a hand.
Tibbs. I shake it with my non-booze hand.
Fair enough. All right.
And then I'll just kind of shrug and say, "All right, you coming?" As I walk through the door.
I pop the lid back on, knock back whatever was left of my scotch.
Fair enough.
All right.
Okay.
I just
All
throw the glass.
It's smash. You know what? For fun, roll me a luck check.
Uh-oh.
It's just
Oh shit! I know where this is
Is
going.
it saving?
it's
at the top,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Saving
It
throws.
might not be on your sheet.
No, it should be. It's at the top of the sheet, saving throws.
Yeah, but I didn't add it to every. No, it's there. Okay, I didn't add it to all of the sheets though. Yeah, you just click the luck check and it'll go.
I have a luck saving, bro.
Yeah, that one. Luck saving throw, whatever. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, it crashes into crashes into a window on the first floor. It seems to be of like an unused apartment at the moment, but like as you sort of look over, it's definitely like broken, like one of the bottom panes of glass. On the front of the door, it says building manager, but it doesn't seem to be occupied right now.
Needed any more reason to get off the planet?
It's all right, I'm a dead man walking.
No.
Yeah, not for long.
It's all right. I'll write him a post-dated check. It's fine.
Okay.
He can bill me at the end of the month. We'll see if I make it.
Okay. So you guys want to head upstairs then, I assume, and say hi or whatever?
Third floor, and let's see what's going on. I'll be holding a piece of paper in my hand, just for a quick reference, in case anything comes up.
Okay, so you get up to the third floor through sort of like stairwells that just have like trash bags in like on the landing and shit. It's not a sanitary place.
Oh, don't go that way. That's where the weasel shits.
You see a pile of dried and sort of caked over droppings in one corner.
Jessie started to cover her face with just like part of her jacket.
How much rent does the weasels pay?
I haven't asked him.
You have a talking space weasel. All right, fair enough.
He's a bit of a dick.
His name is Clarence.
So at this point, Clarence the Weasel comes out, scratches your boot, Tibbs, and then runs back inside of a small hole that seems to have been dug into part of the stairwell.
We got a mascot, guys.
I mean,
I'll
if
get you next time, Clarence.
it's a white weasel, so there's a little bit of Moby Dick.
It's gonna
sort of
start walking
inspiration.
faster now,
Yeah,
away from the
Okay.
party.
That's fair.
I'm gonna follow.
Okay, you get to the third floor, and it's almost ridiculously obvious which apartment it is. And Tibbs, you can confirm it if you want. There is one sort of apartment where around the doors there's like a security setup, like there's like a camera. There's two cameras rather that look down at the entrance of the door. There's um, sort of an old table that upended, sort of like a picnic table, right? But it's like on its side, vertically, to sort of like block off walking from one direction. It's it looks like it's not really hastily, but like negligently constructed security. It's not great, but like it's there. Yeah, you can see that blacked out windows, blackout curtains in them. But you can hear, even from here, from a little ways away, you can hear the sound of sort of pulsing music from inside.
Oh, like club music, I imagine.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely techno club sort of music.
I walk up and I just
It's all
knock on the
Skrillex
door.
actually, just to make them more
Ooh,
insufferable.
pulling out old records. I see.
Yeah,
Skrillex.
it's all like old Skrillex stuff.
Why
They
did
gathered
play
from
this
old Earth.
ancient music? This is
Yeah.
bothering ears. Ah, fuck! I can't. Hold on. I'm gonna get
It's
it.
about right.
Is your
Yeah.
friend
Oh,
okay?
well.
It sounds
Almost
worse than me.
there. Yeah, I do love the southern accent, by the way.
I just came out of nowhere.
I know. It's great.
It's completely unintentional.
Howdy.
I know. It's so great, though. I love it. Because we talked about that at one point. You doing a southern accent, and then like all of us having to do British accents for a while.
We did also talk about me coming in to a game where people didn't know I was British and doing an American accent,
Yes.
and then see if I could convince you that my character had a British accent.
Yeah.
That would have been so hard.
Hey, you guys.
To talk in character in my normal voice, but out of character in an accent.
Yeah, that'd be hard because you'd have to go. You have to go. And my character says this is the.
And
yeah.
my character, your accent is great. Me and Uncle Daddy here are gonna make ourselves a Nef son.
I didn't realize we were in the bio.
It's the bayou.
Bio? What? Okay, never mind.
The bayou.
Moving on. I'm just gonna go up and I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay, at that point you see behind you, you hear like the whirring of small blades as the drone that you saw earlier sort of swings down, and you can see the camera sort of focus on you for a moment.
I'm just
wave.
gonna hold up the paper to it.
Okay. It takes a second. Like you can see like the camera, like there's a smaller camera lens right underneath it. It takes like a picture. And then like it just sits there for like a good 3 or 4 seconds, and then you hear the lock on the door behind you. It's a large sort of steel door, definitely seen better days, dirty and all that shit, but you just hear it go click and open, and like the door doesn't really open, but it's definitely unlocked at this point.
All right, the door to the club or the door to the other behind me, the other door.
Well, you're not no, it's the door to the apartment, but like you can definitely hear club music coming.
Okay, yeah, I'll walk through. I'll pocket the paper, and then just kind of. I guess
Okay.
I'm just gonna like look at the drone as I open the door and see if
Okay.
I can follow it.
Okay. Yeah, no, the drone sort of turns around and flies back out into the center of the apartment complex, up a couple
All
of
right.
floors.
In that case, I'll just head through the door then.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm gonna follow a couple steps behind.
Okay.
Oh, I've come this far.
Yeah, sort of stagger in after them.
I imagine this is the most excitement you've seen in months.
I'm curious.
Yeah. Okay. So all of you sort of file into this room, and it's a pretty, it's not super large, right? But it's a decent size sort of living room space. Blackout curtains, like I said, on the windows. The music is basically deafening at this point. Um, you can barely hear yourself think, but you can see several computer stands and essentially the compads, tablets, laptops, computers, all sorts of stuff, just sort of all over the place, stacked on top of each other. Some of them are on, some of them are like in various states of uh, being pulled apart, essentially. What is this?
I just
Oh,
found
yeah.
it. Don't worry about reading it now, but check
Okay.
it out later. It's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. I'll definitely check it out later. But yeah, so there's just tons of data pads and stuff like that. There, you can see a couple of figures in what looks like what is supposed to be a bedroom, but there's no bed in there. There are a few like couches and things like that in this room. Um, Cords and wires everywhere. It basically looks like my apartment. So I mean, my apartment doesn't have blackout curtains, but it's pretty close. As you guys enter in, and take a step through, like the door behind you sort of closes automatically. And then an individual who you recognize, yeah, Jack, you would recognize him. He's still wearing the bandana over his face, but you do recognize, he's kind of got blue hair. He's wearing a hoodie essentially, and a pair of jeans. Um, like I said, bandana over the face, has green eyes, walks out and looks at you and says, uh, somehow over the music, uh, without seeming to shout, it says, "Well, haven't seen you in a while."
Likewise, I say as I again try and talk over the music.
Yeah, it's really difficult. He kind of all of a sudden realizes how loud the music is, and he walks over to this large stereo system and sort of turns it down. It's an old style stereo system, basically what we have these days. But yeah, he like brings the dial down a little bit. Um, he says, "Well, thanks for fixing my car. What can I do for you?"
First thing, what can I do for you? Because I noticed that your little buddies flying around the place, absolute trash fire of a piece of technology. I could help you with that, of course. For maybe another favor or to add on to the one I currently need. Second off, I'm gonna need some assistance when it comes to getting off planet ASAP. Peace.
He looks at you and he just says, "Well, when I said a favor, that's okay. Um,
I don't
uh,
expect you to do it all your own. In fact, I don't think you could. But what I do expect is some assistance, some know-how. Look, you're more connected with these guys than I am, whether they know it or not. So if you could give me an in to maybe somebody who we could talk to, get our way off planet, be appreciated.
he kind of like he's looking off to the side, like very obviously like trying to think through the situation now. Um, and he looks back to you and says, "I think I might have a way to get you off planet, but I promised you a favor. Who the fuck are they?"
I'm just kind of
Friends of
blowing my
mine.
hair.
Plus
What's
ones,
up?
don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, a plus one and a plus one and a plus one is, yeah.
You're
You
doing
got
me a
one.
favor and getting me to go to who I need to talk to. Then they'll do themselves a favor.
Okay. Okay. Well, if I help you, we're square,
We're square.
and you never heard of me.
Nope. Not
I don't
once.
even know who you are.
I'm just over the back.
He looks at you.
I
and
don't
says,
even know your
I
name.
like you. He kind of. That's the point. All right. All right.
I look into the apartment a bit. Is there like more people in there, or
Yeah, there seems to be 2 other people in the back. Give me like it's pretty dark and you're kind of like there's some curtains and stuff, but yeah, give me a notice with wisdom for that one. Let's see what how much of this you actually see because it's cluttered as fuck. Okay. Yeah, you can see uh there appear to be like 2 people in the back. Both of them aren't really moving much. They seem to have like these special chairs, like strongly built. They kind of look like the gaming chairs that you see on like Twitch or whatever that gamers use or whatever, the racing seats or whatever.
Mhm.
But they also have like arm things, sort of like like arm pads to like hold out your arms, like if you're laying back. They both seem to be like reclined in them. They're not
Mhm.
really moving. They have a couple, like each one has a visor on. Um, you would
they're doing
probably
something recreational?
yeah, it definitely looks like some kind of like VR setup. And like as you sort of look, one of them definitely has like a full cybernetic arm, at least as much as you can see. And I mean, just from a guess, because you're kind of used to the cybernetics and stuff, at least in this part of town, they probably have like integration ports for neurolinking into some kind of net somewhere. I mean, you
So
wouldn't know
yeah,
what they were doing exactly, but like they're definitely hooked into some kind of network.
they're plugged into the internet effectively.
They're basically in the Matrix right now. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So they're
Yeah,
definitely doing something there, but you're not sure what.
I have a decent idea as to what exactly they're doing, but that's not me.
Yeah.
Or
that's
who
fair.
they're doing.
I mean, it could be that. It might be something completely different. You don't know.
They're playing
So-
My Little Pony Explorer.
they're playing Minecraft. That's all they're doing is just playing Minecraft. Because it's still around somehow.
It would be, but
It fucking would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, but yeah, this individual sort of steps away and says, "All right, wait here. Let me see what I can find." And steps into the back room. And sort of like motions to the couch for you guys to sit down if you want.
as
Um,
as he's going away, I just say, "Hey, if you need some more persuasion, I could fix that mangled mess of a drone you got outside."
and like he sort of like waves like yeah sort of like whatever wave, but like he seems to be focused on something. As you sit down, like in the middle of the coffee table, like some stuff has been cleared away. There's like old data blocks with whatever on it. You're not you don't necessarily know. But in the center, there's another drone.
Hmm.
It seems to be like a grab drone. It's a little bit more high end. Um, on the bottom, you can see that it has a very similar setup to like the other one. It has like a camera. This one seems to have some kind of more advanced sensor package than the other one.
Mhm.
Definitely something like infrared and sonic sensors and that sort of thing. And underneath there's the same black box with a rat's nest of wires around it.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. Just kind of, I'm looking over it, seeing exactly how I would do it differently.
Yeah,
Basically.
I mean, like the wires look pretty haphazardly thrown in there for the most part. Um, Pretty messy and kind of all over the place. You do recognize like, well, yeah, I mean, with your fix check, I mean, without really going into it too much, like it's definitely a whole bunch of wires that don't seem to do a lot. I mean, they seem to carry like a tiny little charge. It seems to have its own battery, whatever this
Mhm.
is. But yeah, there's also you can also see like the electronic uh, receiver, signal receiver, and all that stuff. And this one also seems to have a separate piece for that if need, like attached.
Mhm.
Uh, I won't make you necessarily make a roll for this. It's most likely a bomb.
Gotcha.
So whatever that means, yeah. And you
I'm
kind
just
of get
gonna.
the idea that like the rat's nest is almost there on purpose
Mhm.
to throw off, any like if you cut the wrong wire, it will just explode.
Mhm.
It seems to be set up that way, but it is really obvious and like looking at it, you could probably figure out a way to like put that all together and still as confusing of a package, but like not explicitly on the outside of the thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely made to be confusing and then make things blow up in people's faces if they try to like access the drone.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, can I use fix to break shit?
Yeah, you can totally do that if you
Awesome.
want to break it in a very specific way.
Yeah. Not asking for this situation specifically, but just in
Yeah.
case.
Yeah. If you run into a situation like that, you could definitely use fix to try to break something the right way.
Mhm.
Unless it's hacking, in which case, if it's a
Yeah.
program skill, but yeah. I mean, just like programs used to hack into things, you can use fix to.
Quite literally hack into things.
Yeah.
But yes, good to
uh,
know.
yeah. A couple minutes later, uh, Null comes back outside, or comes back out of the room with a small data card, and basically hands it to you and says, "All right, this means we're square, right?
Oh yeah, means we're square.
All right. As far as I know, and you didn't hear it from me, the Oman Global Group, and you would recognize the name. They're kind of a supplier for the entire planet for like medical supplies. So usually what they do, medical supplies, sort of base quality of life stuff. I mean, they're the people that like bring diapers for kids and shit like that from off planet because nothing on this planet is really set up for anything. It's a big time import economy,
Hmm.
despite exporting a lot of like metals and rare components and things like that.
Hmm.
It says supposedly they when they need something real specific, they have a few places that they can bring stuff in under the radar, so to speak. I don't know. Might be your best chance out of here. Might not. Not really my place to say. That's about all I got. And
No contacts, no anything else.
supposedly,
How do you spell
uh,
it? Oman?
Oman Global.
I
Yeah,
just did OMON, but
that's exactly correct. Yeah,
all right.
Oman Global. Um, supposedly, there's a couple of, shall we say, well, let's just call them what they are: smugglers that work for Oman, and you should be able to find them somewhere. Sometimes in the spaceport, sometimes in the city. I don't know. That's it's not for me to say. But I know one guy who brought something in nice and special for me. His name was Jimmy Kynes, and he might be able to help you out for the right price.
Does Oman stand for anything?
What's that?
Does Oman stand for anything?
It seems to be like a family name. It
Uh,
was originally, a small business that just sort of hit the jackpot with delivering hard to get goods to places that couldn't get them at all. Sort of servicing that industry with long range craft and things like that.
So can I just point out that Oman Global seems very limited in this day and age?
Yeah, they started on one planet and they just sort of kept the name.
Oman Universe.
Oman's sectorial. I mean, because it's kind of in.
Oman
Yeah.
Galactic require access to
Yeah.
at least 10 to 15 systems.
It would be
Yeah.
Oman Interstellar, basically.
Yeah. They've stuck with the name Oman Global. Okay, you know what? Yeah. So if any of you have like heard of this group before, you would kind of like know that they, if you've ever dealt with them anyway, and it's potentially possible that you have. They kind of chose the name Global to sort of feel more they're kind of trying to go for like that at home, like small business feel, even though they're like this multi-stellar corporation. They're just trying to, it's like Whole Foods or whatever, trying to choose a name that feels small to like appeal to the small town.
Feels quote unquote local.
Yeah, even though it's totally fucking not. Because a lot of the places they service are like these not necessarily backwater planets, but like these places that just don't have access to a lot of stuff, and they provide that access. So, they stuck with the name for that reason.
Right,
If
But
you
at least
spell it
that's what they
backwards,
say
it
on the
sounds like a
outside.
monster.
What's that?
If you say it backwards, it sounds like it should be a Monster Hunter. It's a
Lag-
Lobal Gnomo.
Yeah, it does. Put a little hyphen there.
Let's
Could
go
be-
get the Labo Gnomo.
it's like a pookie friend. Yeah. I don't know what kind of monster that would be, but that would be interesting.
Turtle.
What's that?
Turtle.
Yeah, I could see that. Giant
They need
snapping
more
turtle.
turtles.
A giant snapping like fucking dragon face turtle.
Yeah, totally down with it. With like poison spiked shell.
Is there even? I think there might be one turtle, but all I can give is the hermit crab.
Yeah.
There's the fucking giant lava turtle.
Yeah.
And then there's
Okay,
always
we're getting off
Levisioth,
track.
which is the worst fucking thing on the face of the earth. I hate that fucker.
Who is?
Who?
It's just
We've
Levisioth.
been getting off track.
Ah.
Yeah, let's get back on it. We're in space,
It's
not in
All right.
not in the new world.
Yeah. Well, no, we're in the new world. We're not in the old world. Earth kind of collapsed a long time ago, basically.
That's what happens to flat planets.
Oh God. Hate you
Moving
so
on. Moving
much.
swiftly onwards.
Do you remember Earth? What a stupid planet.
Who
Enough.
the fuck
Enough.
makes a dead-
Let's continue with the narrative.
This
So
is the
Jimmy
narrative.
Kynes.
Yeah.
That's a name that we know.
Yeah, Jimmy Kynes, yep.
So this data card then.
It just
The
says,
face?
no, that's it's not exactly that. That's a buy-in. And it'll tell you who sent them without telling them exactly who sent them. It's the only way
Mhm.
you're gonna get a call it a referral. It's the
Works
best
for
I can
me.
do for you.
All right, we're square. But hey, if I'm not off planet before long, you can always have me take a look at those drones, because let me tell you, that thing wouldn't fool anyone worth their salt. Let me tell you. All right.
He just sort of looks at you like, really, dude? I just helped you and you're insulting me in my work? But he just like scoffs, walks over to the door, opens it, and sort of like does the hand wave out, please, sort of
Yep.
motion.
I'll pocket the chip and off we go.
Okay. So as you exit, you do see I mean, you see the drone still sort of hovering in its spot, doing like a lazy circle around the interior of this place. There are some police sirens in the way off in the distance. Don't seem to be anything to do with you. But most of the people have sort of headed inside now that it's gotten much colder. It's now probably around 0 Celsius and 32 Fahrenheit, I guess.
I'm gonna take a look at the car, see if anybody's fucked with it or if it's okay.
Sure. It doesn't seem like anything's really happened. However, so if you did street side parking, right? So like, it does seem a bit dustier, but that's pretty normal. Yeah. I mean, nothing seems fucked with at the moment.
All right.
Alright, let's get going. I prefer not to freeze my tits off in the street.
Fair
Hey,
enough.
So you guys are heading off planet.
Yep. Fast as possible, and not exactly under the eye of the law, because they would rather we stay and get eaten. I don't know if you're all about that. If you are, then don't mind us. But
You got room?
big enough van.
What do you do?
I'm a damn fine pilot.
Lexi looks at the back of the truck and just makes sure that there is room for her plasma projector and her and this guy.
I mean, one of
In that
y'all is
order.
probably gonna have to sit on some parts or something, or like on the workbench.
That's an easy
in
choice to
but
make.
like, or like one of y'all's gonna have to sit in each other's laps. But yeah, there is technically enough square meter space in there to fit a couple people and the gun.
She lays the gun lengthwise and sits on that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the rear of the van opens up as you guys sort of pile in.
Passenger seat.
So, all right. So, Jesse calls shotgun. Yeah. So, if you want to do a quick recap and describe exactly what Tibbs is crawling into at this point.
Yeah. So
The rear, apparently.
as we open the door, you see the back of a van that is filled with spare parts, with spare tools. Nothing high tech, mostly just like spare wrenches, nuts, bolts, some like cutting tools. There's a few, like there's maybe like a few like small canisters of welding fuel, but otherwise that's taken care of with the multi-tool that he has that Jack has on his wrist. And then there is a small workbench to the side. To the other side, there is a sort of stand that would fit maybe a small vehicle or a small, or a large arm. And there are a few hooks at the top to have things hang from. But yeah, this looks like a fairly not hastily, but like poorly,
Organized.
poorly organized mechanics den, so to speak. It's like a mini chop shop in the back of a van.
I kind of like start making a mental note of all the tools and saying them out loud, like, "Oh, nice, it's cool, wrench. Oh, look at those, yeah, they're cool."
All right.
Hmm.
Maybe there's.
That's the big gun.
It just looks like a big gun unless you got military training.
Well, no, I mean, for all intents and purposes, like, have you ever seen like Overwatch Zarya's gun?
I don't know which character that is.
Hold on.
I'll
Big
like
Russian
it.
lady?
I'll like one.
Oh, okay, the Russian lady. That does it.
Yeah. It kind of looks like that, I assume. Just a really big, like you're holding it in two hands, gun. Plasma projectors are the equivalent of.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, it kinda looks
Stop.
like
Stop sending me to Bing. What the fuck?
that.
Is that a military grade plasma projector?
You
Maybe, I
ask
don't know.
Lexi, who won't respond for some reason.
She just stares at you for a minute.
Nice.
Maybe.
I like this van. And I get in.
I recognize this is all going to go tits up at some point. It's going to be great. But yeah, okay. So you guys all pack into the van. All right. So you have a name. He can give you a location. You do know where Oman Global is.
I was gonna say he gave us a vague location, which was the southeast side of the city.
Yeah, sort of this general area. You know that Oman Global is located, like their sort of branch office for this planet is sort of there, or at least for this city, is there, and they sort of own a bit of the spaceport, over here.
Yeah, so I mentioned that. Yeah, it's getting kind of late. We've got, what is it, 13 days now?
Yep.
I am getting bored.
Well, afraid I can't do much about that, but if we want to take a look and see if we can pinpoint where those Jimmy Kinds might be at, we can take a look downtown.
I will point out at this point it's about like 1 or 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's.
Uh,
Or we could.
Won't be open until like the next day for sure.
We can catch some shut eye because it's. I think we've been up for a bit. Been a long day.
Yeah.
We're like right next to my house, aren't we?
Well, I mean, do you have an apartment or are you sleeping on? Like that's the question.
I'm probably sleeping in the rough.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean,
At least it's
I would
indoors.
imagine the plains were my houses.
yeah. Normally, it would be. Yeah. Like, what did you do up until recently? Like, because there are a few different like piloting type jobs on the planet, like ferrying ore from like the mines to the industrial areas, clearing off. Like, there's the spaceport, of course, actually like shipping shit. And then there's like there are these like large, they're almost like dump trucks, but instead of like the back end is all engines, and then it has like this large fan. Basically, it's like a turbine engine on the front, literally for blowing the sand away from the walls. Um, you'd know about all these things, but yeah.
Is there any like military shipping stuff?
There are private security groups here for sure. Um, they're like it's a the the main security for the city. Um, they, let's see, that would be handled by, where'd it go? Sorry. There we go. That's a little better. Hisao Kagi, I believe is the name. Yeah. Hisao Kagi. Defense Incorporated. They are a private security group. Everything here is basically like a libertarian dream. Everything's privatized. The whole place, like, there's usually like one or two corporations that share a city. There are several cities.
There you go. I sent you something.
Okay.
Work with that.
Okay. So maybe you were working for Hisao Kagi Defense.
Sounds good.
And yeah, dropship pilot sound good for you? That work?
Yeah.
All right. So you were, yeah. So you were part of a security team. All right. So you would know, like, yeah, this city runs with that. Okay. That works for me. I'm down with that. I like that. So yeah, you would know, like, they run most of the stuff here. You probably have met some people. You kind of like, you would know like the main layout of the spaceport, and like at least for the most part, the main sections or whatever, and kind of know where Oman is.
Okay. Yeah. So I would have know like the various bays and.
Yeah, you'd kind of know like roughly who's where and all that stuff. And you might have heard of like some, let's say, less than legal areas in, when you were working on it, but like you weren't part of. I don't think you would have been part of that task force exactly. You've definitely heard rumors of like smugglers and things like that around here. Considering the high security of the world, um, or of the cities or whatever, like it's pretty common to have smugglers and the like around.
All right. Cool.
Plus, they're handling like ridiculously expensive materials here too, so that goes along with it. So yeah, you have an idea. Meanwhile, Jack, where are you driving? Considering, what are you doing? Everybody's in the van. I mean, if it's the end, if you guys just want to get a rest, you can definitely do that.
Yeah, I think we might just kind of. We might go back to their apartment, actually, if you guys. Hey, do you ladies mind two others crashing for the night? I'll sleep in the van if you want.
You can both sleep in the van.
Damn. Okay. All right. I mean,
Sure
it's a
thing.
place to. I mean, it's the closest thing to a base you guys got right now.
Yeah, I will. Just saying though, if shotgun's taken by the time you get out here, it's not my problem.
Well, I'm sure we'll figure that out when we get to it. Are we at our apartment yet?
I'll say you guys can drive up at this point. Yeah, like so Tibbs, you see like there's like a. Have you ever watched Burn Notice?
Nope.
Okay, never mind then. Basically, there's like a nightclub, still rolling, like it's still, you hear club music coming from it as well. It's like a large sort of warehouse building, and then there's like a small lot with like an iron gate or steel gate rather. Um, uh, and it's almost like an alley with a dead end, and there's like a set of stairs that go up to a door on the second floor, and then another door on the lower floor. There's tons of stray cats, including one attempting to smoke a cigarette, um, and drinking from a mostly evaporated pool of or like a bowl of water and a large thing of cat food. There's like 10 of these cats though. And yeah, so you pull the truck into or the van into that lot and close the gate behind you, I guess. Yeah, and you can definitely hear like yelling and drunk people just outside the gate or whatever. It's you're in the kind of in an industrial area for the most part. Or it looks like an industrial warehouse area. But yeah, I assume you guys are just gonna
Yep, I'm gonna
go
take
to
my
sleep.
sniper rifle baby from out from behind the seat and go into the apartment.
Okay. So Jesse, Alexi head up to the second floor, where there's like a large, definitely, like warehouse steel door. When I say large, it just means it's a regular person door, but it's a little bit wider than normal. And head inside. You guys are stuck out in the van, I guess. But yeah, so um, I guess we'll take just a couple minutes and we'll pick up. You guys can have like a more.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of. You mentioned that I rigged Noel like rigged my van to play Netflix or whatever, Spaceflix rather.
Yeah.
I just imagine we're sitting back. I recline the chair back and say, "So, like movies?" I flip a button and the windshield turns into a screen.
Nice. Okay, yeah, like the windshield auto tints itself. You got like a projector that goes up onto the screen and fits it perfectly.
Yep.
Do
Okay.
you have anything with lots
You're
of
not there.
blood and
You're in your
killing?
fucking room. 'Cause
Oh,
you
Yeah,
okay.
we
got
Never
out
both
mind.
headed
of
up.
the van. They're in the room.
Unless
They're in
you unless you wanted to stay,
yeah, if you wanted
because
to
you've
stay,
got a
that's
key too.
Yeah.
Wherever she can bring her gun with her.
I mean, you can. I don't know. It's up to Jack if you can have
Yeah,
the
you
gun in
can
the van or
you can
whatever.
stay in the van if you want.
Yeah, you can stay in the van if you want.
Okay.
Movies.
so like it kicks up and there's like all these old Earth films. This is part of like a public database. It's Spaceflix, but it's like part of a public database. It's kind of on almost all the planets. So like there's like Infinity War. It's all public domain at this point because
Mhm.
it's
I watch
1200.
Avengers 4.
All right.
I want you to describe it in explicit detail.
Everybody dies at the end. Again.
No, that happened in number 3.
Oh right, no, this is the one where they come back as ghosts and then have to fight through the shadow realm playing children's card games. It's
All
weird.
right. Yugi Thanos.
I don't know, man. It's all put me on the spot like that. Shit. Okay.
Now we're just gonna watch a DBZ abridged marathon until.
Okay. Oh, just out of game for a second. Did you see episode or the third part of?
Yep.
No
It
spoilers.
was
All right.
no
Yeah, I
spoilers.
did.
All I will say is it's really good. I really love what they did with that sort of quote unquote last episode.
Oh, they're going in a great direction.
Yeah,
This
they're doing something
season.
kind of amazing, and I love it. But yeah, no, definitely fucking watch that, Billy. It's worth it.
It's like
All right.
next on my list.
Yeah.
So,
Back to
Lexi's
Spaceflix.
Lexi's just
You see
watching
it
this.
come up,
and
like you start
her
on
eyes,
episode
like-
1 where Raditz is kicking the shit out of things, and then move from there.
Yep.
There you go.
How many push-ups do they have to do that? I want to do that.
A lot. Like a lot.
A lot.
At least 1 million.
Maybe a couple.
She looks at her arms like, okay, maybe halfway there. I'll work on it.
Lexi's looking to get buff like the DBZ characters. All right, fair enough.
By the end of the marathon, I'm sobered up. I look disappointed.
All right. So you guys finish up the DBZ marathon. At this point, they've gotten about halfway through the Boo saga, not quite the whole way, and at least it's available. And get some sleep, and we'll pick up as you guys wake up in the morning, and we'll call it a quick 5-minute break.
All right, sounds good.
Oakley dokley.
See you in 5.
Ooh, progress.
Nice.
Yeah, that little picture I posted was one of those bots that's forced to watch over 1,000 hours of something and then has to write a script about it. It's brilliant.
Somebody just posted
Oh, I
one
read
with
that. That was amazing.
Trump.
Fucking love the fact that it's like, we're out of milk. Obama drank it. It's not fair.
We will build a wall of milk.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
What did you say? The Mexicans milk or something?
Oh god, no! Please stop. Don't make me get taken down from Twitch.
Oh wait, no. He said Mexico's on fire. We gave something to Mexico because Mexico is on fire. Great deal for us.
I signed a
Everything's
bill.
on
No more
fire.
swamp.
Too good. But yeah, I took both of you guys' suggestions on the hair.
That
Like,
looks
could
good.
you get
I
burned or
really
something,
like
or-
the tattoo on your. Oh, now that I see it, I like the tattoo on your left arm more. I was about to say I really like the design you had on the right shoulder, but I saw the alien cat.
It is Hello Space Kitty, my favorite. But yeah, I'm thinking about completing this and just putting the last 2 characters in the car and stuff in there. I think it would come out cool.
I should probably find some kind of image. Give an idea.
You don't have to, but I know.
All the pilots are women.
What?
Or like Google Images,
Oh, guess you're gonna
cyberpunk pilots.
explain your surgery.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna judge, but you know, everybody has their own thing. You might want to just do like sci-fi or futuristic pilot, casual or whatever. It did take me a while. It took me an embarrassingly long time to find the right photos for my character. Oh, hold on, that's a good point. Let me. We'll be right back
Alright,
after these messages and when I switch the stream to the right thing.
That help.